All right, let's go ahead and draw a sloth. So we're gonna start off with this brown quick stick. To make quick sticks work, you just kind of roll them up like a glue stick. They're just paint that dries pretty quick. And we're gonna start off with a semicircle. So right in the middle of my paper, I'm gonna draw a line and then an arch to make it into a semicircle. This is my sloth's belly and then his back. And I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of color that in. The next thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to add his little head. So his little head is gonna go right here. It's a circle, and we wanna make sure that the back of it, like right here, kind of lines up with this back. So here's my circle for my head. It's a little big, it's okay. And then we're going to make what I call macaroni shapes or arch shapes for our legs. So a sloth kind of hangs its little claws over the edge of a branch, so it's kind of curled. So I'm going to make a macaroni shape. See how this kind of looks like a macaroni shape? Then I'm going to double it and make it a little bit thicker on the bottom. Just like that. And I'm going to do the same thing right here. So macaroni shape, and then make it a little bit thicker at the bottom. Now, these are just the front legs. We're going to add the back legs a little bit later, after we add the tree branch, which we're going to do in just a second. First, though, we want to change the color of this brown a little bit so that it is not the same color brown as the branch. So I'm going to add some of this highlight or this fluorescent green to it. It's not going to do much to change the color, but it will change it a little bit. And also, sloths they get kind of a greenish tint to their fur because they move so slowly, and sometimes like moss grows on them, which is kind of cute, I think, personally. So just a little bit of that. We're gonna just go over all of our lines, color it in with the green. Okay. That looks good. Now I'm going to take my black quick stick and I'm going to draw the lines for the tree branch. So I'm going to start up right next to this paw and kind of go over, draw my line. My line can be thick, it's fine. And then I'm going to do it right about here as well, right below it, and kind of continue that line. So between the two, up at the top, and then back. Okay? If you want to, you can go ahead and color that in while you're still kind of waiting for this. And I love when there's like going over the black with the brown because it makes it a darker brown, and I think it really stands out. And you can kind of see just already that the green we added to the brown added enough color to make it stand out a little bit differently. You can even go back in with some black and add some little texture, like tree branch texture. Up to you. Okay, this should be dry enough now to go to the next step, which is to take a white quick stick and just kind of make another circle in the middle of this. Perfect. And now it's time to get our black pastel out. I'm going to go ahead and start outlining the body with this first. So we're going to go around the legs. That whole arm is going to go all the way around to here. Oops, I forgot to connect those two things together. So we're going to just quickly do this. Go around it. I put this line down a little bit so we can kind of see that this is its head. It's separate from the rest of its body. Then I'm going to go up to this leg. I'm going to go ahead and add the back legs now. So the claws are hanging over the other side of it. So I'm going to make a W and then one more W. So it looks kind of like that. Oh, and I did round tops. I'll do that one more time slower. W, triple U, and then you're going to make just arches above each of those. You could take your dark brown pastel and kind of color above it so it looks like the top of a paw if you really want to. We can even outline it a little bit. Take white pastel and color in those claws if you want to. They're kind of a gray color, so that works out. And then I'm going to take my brown pastel and make the back legs. So I'm going to start right at the base of the tree and kind of make 2 diagonal lines that lead to the body and color that in. And do the same thing over here. Diagonal lines to the kind of the top of the head, color that in. Take my black pastel and trace them. I made this kind of too close to the top. Maybe move it down a little bit for yours. All right, now it's time to do the face. I'm gonna take that brown pastel again, and sloths have like these little round shapes on their head. They're kind of like egg shapes, and they kind of look like big sunglasses, which is really cute actually. So I'm going to draw those in, 2 ovals. Then take my black pastel and do a little oval for the nose, a smile, and his eyeballs. I could also take some brown and make little hairs if I want to, just because it's kind of cute. I could even make some hairs up here if I wanted to, because it's kind of cute. Up to you. You always want to outline any kind of like extra things you make though, because it makes it look more completed. I like to go around the head with black, but you don't have to. And finally, this is kind of hard, so if you can't get it, I take a little bit of white and just barely put it on there. Sometimes I have to just kind of squish it hard and it won't get it, but it's not easy. So if you can't get it, it's okay. We'll add some paint to it a little bit later, probably tomorrow. All right, now finally it's time to add some texture and some details. So kind of like what I mentioned before, sloths they grow that kind of like moss on them. So I'm gonna take some green and just I'm making kind of like curlicues that are really close together to kind of look like fur. Just kind of go up his leg a little bit, up his belly a little bit. And I'm gonna use that green also to just make some dash marks to kind of look like fur a little bit. Then I'm gonna take my black pastel and do that as well. Just some black dash marks to kind of look like fur, so we know that he's covered in fur, or she. All right, and that is your sloth.